Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co-host Seb, and we are talking Golden State Warriors right now, right? The only team in the offseason to not upgrade their roster, right? Through trade or through a signing. All they really did was draft who's the kid's name, Seb? Who did they draft? What's his
Yeah,
name?
so Lindenberg.
Right. Who did win Summer League MVP, so seems like a good talent. But besides that, the Warriors did not really do much to upgrade their rosters. Brought back a lot of players that they had last season. You know, the Porzingis of the world, the Gary Payton the seconds. Um, we recently seen right on social media just all the rumblings that there are behind the scenes teams calling for Steph Curry, right? Seeing what's going on with that situation over in Golden State. um, also seen reports saying that, I don't know if this came from the Warriors organization, but this is supposed to be a gap year, right? I don't know when teams started using that word so much, but I'm seeing that's becoming very popular. Steph, should Steph and Curry request a trade? And just what do you make of the Golden State not making any moves this offseason?
Good question, Justo. To answer your question, I'm gonna start off by saying this: Stephen Curry has a chance to do something that nowadays is not really. It's a rare thing to do in the NBA, and that stick with the same team for 20 plus years that drafted you and go out with the same team. Loyalty to an organization, and just the fact that they're openly admitted that this year's a gap year. We got to test our resources out, see what works and what's not. And I think Stephen Curry should have requested trade. I think you know what I'm saying? You already built your legacy. Anything more is just, an add-on to it. I think that Stephen Curry still has a lot left in the tank, but I also feel as if, the narrative nowadays, we got to switch our team just to win more. And especially for a guy like Stephen Curry that was won 4 rings in Golden State. I think you, Draymond, and Steve Kerr should ride off into the sunset. Um, I really think nowadays, and especially in the NBA, is the best thing to do is just to switch teams when something don't work no more though. But I just think that based off all the success that you had in Golden State, I think he should stay. That's just me personally. I think that Stephen Curry is like the most tenured player on an NBA team for like he's the only one now. I don't even know who comes second. Maybe Devin Booker comes second after him, and Devin Booker came in the league in like what 2000 and what 16, 2017. So I feel like Steph has something a chance to do something special that is undermined. I really believe that's undermined because not a lot of people are doing that. Like before Steph, it was what Giannis. Now Giannis on Miami. I just really feel like, you know what I'm saying? Just the caliber player he is, you have nothing more to really prove. If you want to prove to yourself that you could get another one, then by all means, I have no problem against him requesting a trade though. But I also feel as if like you should really just stay in Golden State just for the fuck of it, man. Just for the, you know what I'm saying? I started my career here. I went through the ups and downs of this organization. I seen the lows of the lows when we was barely cutting it to make it to the playoffs. And I seen the highs of the high, winning 4 championship, winning unanimous MVP, a 2-time MVP. I seen everything come and go. So I really think Steph Curry should stay, in my opinion.
Um, this is a very dicey conversation. And it's a very interesting one to have, right? I don't know what staying with a team your whole career really means. Like, does that move you down or up the list of the greatest of all time if you stay with one team?
I wouldn't say it moves you up and down because
So
at the
what
end of
does it do? What does it really mean? Like
I
what? Because
it's
when
just
we're the because when we're I'm about to get at when we're debating, right, the best players of all time, I don't
there's only
see
one.
people saying that. I don't see people saying that he's the best 'cause he stayed with one team. I hear championships and accolades, right or wrong.
Yeah, which he has.
Right. So, but I don't, and I'm not saying you said this. I'm just saying in general, right? I don't know what staying with a team because basketball is a business, right? When Golden State moved on from Klay Thompson, Was that ran by Steph Curry? Was that what Steph Curry wanted?
That was on both sides.
So Steph Curry wanted Clay gone.
No, so of course Steph Curry didn't want it. Steph
Okay,
wants,
so then they didn't look out for him then. So how? So why is him
but it was
staying
a
in
Clay
gold?
thing
So
too as well. It takes two people. Clay wasn't accepting the diminishing role that he was given because they wanted to move. They wanted to make Pods the future.
and look how that turned out. You haven't said nothing good about Pods in the last. I've never heard you say anything good. You send me every season about 10 Pods clips a year of him doing dumb shit.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
where's
saying I'm not saying it
all
was the
this
right move.
Pods?
I'm not saying it was
So
the right move though, but at the same time, it takes two in the organization. So that's what I'm saying. It takes two people to really
right.
see
So what I'm saying is that an organization at the end of the day is going to do what's best for the organization, not the player. We've seen it countless times. When it comes down to it, organizations do what's best for them. Owners do what's best for them to save money. So once again, I'm not going to tell Stephen Curry what to do. That's his personal decision if he wants to stay there or not. But that's just if he wants to live in Golden State, if that's where his family is comfortable, if that's where, if he has businesses and everything extra. But if we're talking about winning championships, they're not in contention.
No, they're not. Everybody knows that. But at this point in
So are
time,
we not playing to win titles? What are we playing for? For now people to say he stayed
listen.
there 20 plus years, that doesn't move him up or down the list to the greatest of all time. What point is that of
So
staying there?
now
I don't
say
get
this:
it.
if he trades to another team, does that automatically mean he gets another title? Nothing is given, bro.
No, we're talking
And how
about
much like how much
competing.
years do you think that Steph Curry has left of his prime? Not even his prime.
We both know championships aren't guaranteed nowhere. That's not the debate. It's competing, right? LeBron just went to Philly to compete.
But
Giannis just went to Miami to compete.
now hear me this: how much years of basketball that you think Steph Curry has left?
I playing at a high level.
Yes,
Realistically, from what I see I can see him playing at a high level still for another 4 to 5 years, being honest.
4 to 5 years. Nobody wants to play. Listen, in the back end of Kobe Bryant's career, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, they didn't really want to, you know what I'm saying? You're in it for the culture, bro. You develop the young youth, you develop what you have, man. It's a rare thing. That's why I say it's a rare thing that a player of his caliber could do something special like that to where they finish their career where they started. And it's not like you can't make any moves or anything. You still have tradable assets in Jimmy Butler. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you can't find a way to get better. That's the G. That's the front office job. That's number one. That's not on Steph Curry. That's
Yeah,
not on Draymond. That's not on Steve Kerr.
they didn't make any moves, so they're not doing their job. What move did they make?
They didn't make no moves, but I'm saying there's still time to where we still have the trade deadline. There's a lot of stuff you could do. I'm not saying it's going to automatically put them in contention. Mind you, this was a team that not even last year, the year before that, to where if Stephen Curry didn't get hurt, they was putting up a fight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he still has basketball left to be played, especially in Golden State. That's the most important part in Golden State. So I think that it's more on the GM's job. And who's it? Not Mike Dunleavy Jr. Trash. Trash GM. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, I don't think he's really done nothing to put the Golden State. If anything, he set Golden State back. I think the only good move he's pulled is getting Jimmy Butler, but then you sign him to that money now, so now you're kind of within lock of Jimmy Butler. But other than that, though, you gotta find a way to still maximize him.
Yo,
I
this
think if
damn
Stephen Curry's
fuck.
still committed to the Golden State Warriors, which I think he is. I think he has that loyalty type of guy. I think if he's still committed to the Golden State Warriors, it's your best job to at least give him another what? Another chance to really get to see what he could do. So I'm not gonna say that he shouldn't, but in my mind, I think that Stephen Curry finishes his career out in Golden State. You're muted, brother.
My fault. If I was to predict what's gonna happen, I agree. I mean, I don't see him requesting a trade. Doesn't seem like that kind of guy, right? I see him staying on Golden State for the rest of his career. But on the other hand, if we're talking about if he wants to compete, it's not going to be in Golden State, right? I think that, we've seen the rumblings of Boston, right? I would love him and a Jason Tatum. I think that would be must see TV, right? Him in San Antonio, right? That's another destination that is interesting. So I ask you the hypothetical: if he was to be moved, what destination do you think would be the best for him?
I think if he was to be moved, I'd say my destination for him would definitely be Boston. I think a dynamic of him and Jason Tatum and just the type of offense that Joe Mazzulla would cook up for him. I think that would best suit his strong potential suit. I'm trying to think if there was another destination that I say where I could see Steph Curry going. I feel as if the East would be packed, but I could see him on the team like the Heat. I think the dynamic of him, Giannis, and Bam would definitely be interesting to see. I think a lot of teams, but I think mostly the Heat or Boston is where I'd be interested in seeing Steph Curry play if he was to request a trade, and maybe
Okay,
Denver and Denver.
okay, okay. I'm not mad at that. If I had to choose a team, I think San Antonio, and I think that makes best for both sides, right? I think San Antonio has a lot of tradable assets, right, and picks that they can give to Golden State, and the Spurs getting Steph Curry, right, pairing him with the Victor Wembanyama, that would probably be the best duo that we've seen since LeBron teaming up with Dwayne Wade, right? In my personal opinion. But shout out to Stephen Curry, shout out to Golden State. We all as fans, right, just want to see um Stephen Curry just playing at a high level, right? As we continue to watch the rest of his career unfold. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Moving on to another interesting conversation I wanted to have, and you are the perfect person to have this with. We're gonna talk a little bit about Russell Westbrook, right? So now I see that since Russell Westbrook has been retired, I've been seeing a lot of players just give their insights and saying that, oh, now he's underappreciated and people aren't respecting the career, right? We've seen Patrick Beverly say that the media has made fans look at Westbrook now a certain way. And I seen you repost that. All right. So now my question to you, Sev, is that do you agree and explain how has the media done this? I need to know. You're muted.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. The media, the power of the media can really dictate how a player is perceived in this league. And for an example, I'm gonna really give this example because I've seen it. JaVale McGee. They like even at a point in time, like I used to think JaVale McGee was probably like dumb as shit because all the Shaq and the Fool highlights, but then what they won't show you is the effect that he does have on the court. And JaVale McGee went on to have a low-key underrated career, 3 championships, an Olympic gold medalist. So I'm gonna give him his flowers there though. But at a point in time though, the media was made to seem like he was dumb. And the power of the media, especially if they don't like you, is a crazy thing though, because the media would say that Westbrook was a bad teammate, he butt heads, but then when you hear the players talk, one of the best teammates I ever played with, always looked out. Like the media can really fuck a player stock up, and I truly believe that. I think Russell Westbrook, somebody that you could question his style of play. You could question whether it was a bad shot, whether like what he's doing out there, but you can't question heart. You can't question dedication to the game. And you can't just question like what he means to the game of basketball, though. He never cheated the fans out of their money. He never cheated the teammates out. Anything he did was active and he played the role and he sat back there, especially in LA. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't playing great at the time. They said, yo, we're gonna need you to come off the bench. Came off the bench. They need him to stay in the corner. He stayed in the corner. Not the best 3-point shooter in the corner, but they was asking him though. But the media will let you believe that, oh, he didn't fuck with Bron, he didn't fuck with AD, like he was a cancer in the locker room. They were saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Especially in this time in LA. I think that's where everything really came from though. Because in OKC, beloved. Like, you know, say love him or hate him, he was still beloved in OKC. Houston, you know what I'm saying? He still has ties with Houston. It's really when it came into LA. And this is why I always say LA is a big media to where it can either make you or break you. Because I'm looking at him at a point in time, Lonzo would headline for anything. D'Angelo Russell. When D'Angelo Time Russell was up, people were goddamn sick of him. JJ Redick was sick of him though, but that's what comes with the media in LA. And it's just an LA thing. Go ahead.
So let's stop right there. Expectation matters. You go to Washington, were they expected to contend with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, that duo?
No,
So the media is only gonna push so much, and us fans are only gonna say so. They're not contenders. OKC, right after Kevin Durant left, were they title contenders?
no. Well, after the year after, or just in general,
When Kevin
post KD
Durant
era.
left the Warriors, was the Thunder when Kevin Durant left the Thunder, was they title contender?
For the year one, or just the post KD era.
I'm saying after Kevin Durant left, period, and Russell Westbrook was the main guy, were they title contenders?
Yes,
No, they wasn't.
With Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, they were listed as title contenders.
Okay, okay. I'm talking about when it was just Westbrook, though.
Oh no.
Okay, okay. So now, when you get to Houston, there was their expectations.
Yeah,
When you came to LA, who's won multiple titles, are there not expectations?
there's always expectation in LA.
Yeah, so that's why we're gonna make things a bigger deal. If you're gonna come to a team with expectations and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, the media now has to talk about it. Now, can the media maybe exaggerate things? Yeah. I like that's just plain as day. But we can't act like Russell Westbrook went there and played well because he didn't.
Yeah, but that's just not him. It was a
So
whole
then,
team.
so then, what did you want the media to do after that? He's not playing. What do you want them to say? That he's
That
playing hard,
average what 19, 7 and 7, but they'll
but
show
it's
you the
bad. But it's bad shooting splits. If you could say numbers like that,
you
it's
could
not
say that
efficient.
too. Yeah,
It's
but you
not
could say
efficient.
that too. But we're acting like the whole team made sense. We put a whole bunch of old people out of their prime, put them on one team, and then expect this to be like the Jackson Five last tour to where they go off in the sunset. There was barely any spacing on that team. If you want to put it like that, we put when we brought this, the idea of it on paper sounded, oh, Russ, AD, Bron, Rondo, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan. It sounded nice. If this was like 20 fucking 15 to 2017, it's like, oh hell yeah. But when we looked at it, the team didn't make sense, and Westbrook did not play up to his standards, and he'll be the first to tell you that. But when we looked at it, did the team really make sense though? Was that team a team that when we actually watched, when there's no versatility of young guys, and the youngest guy was probably Reeves, and he was the only one that got burned. When you mix that in, it's just like a whole bunch of vets that are not going to be willing to do what they did maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, I'm not mad at that, and you're definitely correct. Maybe it wasn't the best fit, but then it comes accountability. There's times where you remember the game Westbrook had like what 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, 4 turnovers. They asked him, "Well, how you think you played?" He's talking about solid.
No, first of all,
What?
he had zero. He
What's
had zero.
solid? Like you're
He
not
had
playing
0 points.
solid.
He had 0 points, five
On
assists,
zero, my fault. He
and
had
five.
zero. I gave him too
Well,
many
he shot.
points.
No, no,
He had
no.
zero.
Listen. What do you want him to say, bro? You want him to? You want to? The media's trying to beat him down, and you want
I
him to
gotta
beat
be
him down,
better. I gotta be better. I'm about to lock in. I'm about to get in the gym. I'm about to go
mind you.
put up. I'm about to put up 1,000 shots right now. That would take accountability, not solid. What you didn't
He was
score?
Minnesota. No, listen. If
You
you watch
didn't
that game,
score.
he was solid on one side of the floor. I remember that game, open nights against the Clippers. He was solid on one side of the floor. The defensive side, nobody could tell me shit about Westbrook that game on the defensive side.
But
Could he
now
make?
you're making excuses, bro. Now you're trying to
I'm just saying what
nitpick
it
and
is,
say
bro. Some
he
nights
was
you
good
got it. Some nights
defensively,
you don't.
bro.
He didn't have it. He didn't have it, bro. And then he took it. He said he took down the chin. He said, you know what? I don't mind. He said, if that's what Darvin Ham wants me to do, I'll come off the bench. And he was cool in that role, though. It's just everything was just like the media, and now the media is saying, oh, do Bron and Westbrook even like each other? You know what I'm saying? They drag shit like that to where you don't know what goes on in the locker room, but people get like a little like just a son, and then they run with it. And now that creates the things to where now it's turmoil in the locker room, to where it doesn't even have to be turmoil in the locker room, to where if really you say we need more spacing on the floor. We need to find the younger guys, and that's the direction they went with Austin Reeves. That was the only good thing about that whole LA and Westbrook experiment. I think you found a guy in Austin Reeves who is your future, and I think for the most part is if they mixed it with the younger guys And if they mix a young duos with the vet experience, it wouldn't be none. I think that's what makes a successful team in this league in today. You can't have a whole bunch of old vets and thinking they're gonna do what they did 5 or 6 years ago. So that's my point to say it's just more than that. But for the Westbrook part, because he went on with the Clippers, they didn't have the success. I think with the whole Kawhi Leonard missing playoff games and everything like that. But it was a like feel me, he found a better role in that. Then he went to Denver. I think Denver was probably his best chance of capitalizing on maybe getting back to the finals or doing something special. But they lost in 7 games to OKC though. But people in Denver loved Westbrook for what he did though.
So
Whether
why didn't he? So why didn't they resign him?
he opted out because
Okay, why didn't they resign him?
he opted out. Simple as
You
that.
opt out, you can get a new deal. Why didn't they resign him?
Because they spent all their money on other players like Tim
So they
Hardaway.
had no money at all. They had $0, 0 cents to get Westbrook. That would say there was no money at all.
Reconstruct other people's contracts?
So these are billionaires running these franchises. But you're gonna sit here and say they had absolutely no money to give Westbrook.
No,
No.
they probably did have money to get Westbrook.
Okay. Okay. There we go.
But now when you watch this, watch this season, do you think a Westbrook playing with Denver would have helped with just mentality wise against? Because when I look at it, people say they could have used Westbrook and feel me, not the best shooter. We all know that. We know what comes with Westbrook, but you cannot deny tenacity. You can't deny effort. And I think he's not getting punked by them Timberwolves guys. When Jaden McDaniels went in the media and said none of them could guard and none of them could do nothing, who stepped up for the Nuggets? They all got punked. Well, Westbrook as a vet, you don't get punked. Veteran experience is something that matters in the league.
But you needed players to score and be effective, not just yell and
Who was
get the
effective though?
team riled up.
Who was effective in that for the Nuggets?
I'm not saying no one was effective, but
You
I'm
signed
saying
Tim
Westbrook
Hardaway.
coming there, he wasn't going to help offensively. Well, what was he going to do?
Westbrook? Westbrook played his best basketball with the Nuggets in a while that I've seen. Hitting timely threes, getting defensive stops, was a hell of a defender.
So,
Passing lanes.
what happened in Sacramento?
Sacramento's just a bullshit organization. I'm gonna keep
Okay,
saying
no,
it
but why were they dead last?
because they're bullshit.
But how come he didn't impact winning?
Because they're you listen, you listen. 0 times 10 is
Yo,
still
that
zero.
is math funny.
There's still listen when you. There's nothing good that comes out of Sacramento, bro.
No, I
There's nothing good
agree,
that
but all
comes out of
all I'm
Sacramento
saying is how come he didn't push them towards the direction of winning? That's all I'm asking.
because they're bullshit. Listen to me. When you think of Sacramento,
But
you
what
think of the
about
shit.
him though? Him.
Listen, the most you can do is help the youth understand and navigate through the way of
Okay.
basketball. That's the most you can do. The most you can do is be a veteran for them niggas, bro. You can't help Zach LaVine play. There's literally a fan that said, yo, Zach LaVine, you do nothing but score. You don't get back on defense. There's a fan that got sick and tired of watching Kings basketball that he cursed out Zach LaVine. He said, you're not hustling. You're not doing nothing. Do you see Westbrook arguing with that fan? Westbrook argues with every fan. He looked at there. He said, maybe that nigga got a point. They ran back the Chicago Bull Kings with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and thinking that was going to do something. Sabonis hasn't been good since Mike Brown was there. I can't name you half the players that's on the Kings, man. And that's no disrespect to them, though, but this is bullshit. There's no culture there. They got DeAndre Hunter to put him on the bench. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a lose-lose situation. That's just I think in the back of the mind, that nigga Westbrook knew. He said, yo, this is my last stop, bro. I can't keep doing this, bro. The Kings wanted him back. Nigga said, I'd rather retire than play for the Kings again.
That's cool. That's cool. So I want everyone to know, yeah, we're just having a conversation here. I'm not here to say where to rank Russell Westbrook. I'm not here to say should he have been re-signed. I'm not here to say any of that. That man's career is over. He's gonna ride off into the sunset, and he is one of the best players we've seen in the NBA. You give him that credit. Um, but also, what I want to say is that because I also seen people like now Kenya Martin speaking up, right, saying that I don't want to hear no Westbrook slander, right? I seen people like Skip Bayless just give his opinion on Russell Westbrook, right? And Skip Bayless doesn't really have the nicest things to say about Russell Westbrook.
Man, fuck Skip
Um,
Bayless.
it's cool. But I think two things can be true, and we have to realize that Russell Westbrook is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's undeniable, right? His tenacity and what he brings to the game on every single night can't be duplicated. But just because not everyone loved him doesn't mean that his career isn't solidified or people aren't giving him his flowers, right? Just because everyone doesn't like cheeseburgers doesn't mean they're not good. That's just their opinion. They don't like it. But that doesn't devalue what a burger is. So what we have to do is stop because now when a player retires, and now because everyone in the world may not have something nice to say, now we're not respecting the player. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, but the thing is with Skip is this is a man that openly, you know what I'm saying? It's cool when you give your take, oh, I don't like this player, I don't like the game. Now that's cool. But this was a man that constantly went on air with no repercussions, disrespecting a man's last name by calling him Westbrook any chance he got.
But was he
And,
breaking shots?
but all right, so somebody
Nah, don't say but. Was he breaking shots?
time out. It's part of the game. Time out. If somebody played with your last name on a consistent basis and kept disrespecting your last name, how are you going to feel about that? Or you just not going to care?
Of course I would care. Everybody.
Because now people run with that shit, and now people come to the game. It got to a point where niggas say, yo, I can't even bring my kids around because they disrespect me in front of my kids, man. You can't allow that. As a father, would you allow somebody to play with your
So why
name?
don't you play better?
Listen, man, the game is the game, bro. How you play and how you come to the game is how you come to the game, though. It got him this long of a career, got him 18 seasons
To
out of this
shout out
career.
Stephen A. Smith talking about Kwame Brown. If he's playing like garbage, you ain't gonna see playing like garbage?
But Kwame Brown's a different story. He ain't never do what Westbrook ever did in his life.
No, that's cool, but we can't just praise someone when they're playing well and not when they're not just turn a blind eye. You can't do that either.
We're not turning a blind eye. We're just saying not
So we
everything.
also we have to admit he's
First
a
of all,
Hall
it
of
was a
Famer,
trend.
but
It
then
was a
also
trend.
admit that he's a turnover machine. Why can't both be true?
No, you could say turnover machine though, but when you get to the fans start trolling, every fan, the whole thing about Westbrook was, oh, I'm gonna call Westbrook to see if I could get a reaction out of him. That's not even just saying yo, you suck or anything. Like if you tell somebody they suck, that's cool. You say, yo, you suck, you're a bum. When niggas are literally trying to rage bait a nigga by saying, yeah, Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? Like,
If
nigga.
a fan is paying their ticket, they have the right to say what they want.
No,
We
they
need
don't.
to stop. Yeah,
No, they
yeah,
don't.
yes, they do.
No, they don't. So
Yes,
why
they
your man's
do.
that fan out in Indiana? Why he said,
Well,
yo, oh yeah, him right there.
well, yeah, a fan can say what they paid their money. Why can't what they're supposed to be quiet?
You're supposed to be respectful. Keep it respectful.
So West Brick is disrespecting him.
Yes, nigga, that's my last name, bro. You're not finna keep dick riding talking about West Brick, nigga. You could never do what I did.
All right, but you're breaking shots though.
Bro, there's a different way. You can say you suck. You can say all types of stuff,
Now
man.
I understand about putting your hands on people, right? In any sport, you shouldn't leave your seat and go jump on the players, right? That's not right. But if I'm paying my hard-earned money to now go to these games, I want to be a fan. Yeah, I'm gonna talk my shit.
And
So
that's how you
what?
get it.
Like so what?
That's how you
Focus
get
on the
booted.
game. Are you that not mentally strong? Focus on the court.
But
Why are
if,
you going to the fans, bro?
yo, should I roll the tape of Braun getting somebody kicked out?
Bro, what does Braun have to do? We're not talking about no specific player. We're talking about if a fan comes, then that's just it. They have the right.
They don't have the right to say whatever they want to say.
Now throwing stuff or touching people, right? That's
Yo, listen,
different.
somebody, even the Chris Paul situation to where they
Stop,
said
bro.
where the niggas disrespected his mom. The nigga Chris Paul said, even though the nigga was a little nigga, he said, "Yo, I'm gonna find you after the game." You have all right. First of all, this. Of course, you could trust the fan. You say you could suck. Yo, he's with us, so you can't shoot. You could say a line, but there's a line between this what you say to a basketball player and what you say to a person. And what you say to a person is different from what you say to a basketball player. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's certain stuff that you wouldn't even tolerate. I wouldn't tolerate. I don't care how much money you pay for. There's certain lines that cross between human boundaries to where if you say something that's out of pocket to me or my family or to any of my teammates, I'm gonna tell you to watch your fucking mouth. Like simple as that. Even in that game in the Heat, where the nigga called Westbrook a boy, you could tell that nigga look racist. He said, "This is my seat right here, boy. I'll pay for these seats." What boy you see? A skin-headed nigga. The nigga was a redneck, had a whole redneck. So I pay for these seats, boy. You gonna
All
call
right,
a grown man a boy like that, bro? Listen,
he paid for his seats.
a seat wasn't worth that much, bro. There's niggas that paid courtside seats, that's season tickets holder. Your one-time purchase of a ticket don't mean shit.
That's cool. I believe if you are a fan, you have the right to say what you want.
No, you don't.
I just don't agree. No touching players and no throwing stuff. Right? That's just that. Cause now we're getting violent. But if I'm a fan, I'm paying my hard-earned money. I'm gonna go there, and if I want to say whatever I want, I'm gonna say what I want.
And that's how you get
Cause
kicked out.
because now there's no freedom of speech. Now there's not.
There's such thing as freedom of speech, and there's such thing as watch what you say in a controlled environment. You can't
Cool.
just say,
Now, if Westbrook wants to react, he's a grown man. Westbrook can do what he wants to do. But we can't say the fan can't say something. The fan can do what he wants to do. He paid his ticket. If he wants to use
no.
his words,
All right,
that's
so
on the fan to
a
do.
fan can just say "suck my dick,"
If
and
they want to, yeah. Now
that's cool.
that's up to you as the person how you
But
want to
is that cool
respond.
though?
No, it's not cool.
And should there be repercussions for that?
Repercussions as in what? Once again, I'm saying if the player wants to react however he wants to,
No.
that's
If the
on
fan
you.
blatantly says, and he sits that close enough to where the players get close, and he throws the Frank at a player, there should be no repercussions for that. Is what you're telling
As
me.
in what? Being what? You saying thrown out?
Kicked out.
No, no, I do not.
No, you're
As
sick.
long
No,
as
you're
we're
sick.
not touching players
No, you're
or
sick. You're sick.
harming them,
You're sick.
no,
No, you're sick,
no.
bro. Because at the end of the day, you're saying you can say whatever. I could call this player a nigger. I could call this player a cracker. I could call him a
What?
bitch.
Like that's like in wrestling. We got front row seats, and someone's coming to the ring. And you're like, yo, you're a bitch. What? But to throw them out the arena now? What are we talking about? They're fans. They pay them to be a fan.
Yo,
What are you
listen, you
talking
can be a
about?
fan. You know what fans do? Boo or cheer or say you
You
suck.
cannot now tell a fan how to react. What are you talking? We're not.
Listen,
You
first of
can't
all,
you can't buy a ticket now and then on Ticketmaster it
I don't
says
know what makes you think a
just know
ticket
with
comes with
buying
the
this
power to say whatever you want.
ticket you can't say these words. They don't
There's
say
millions
that.
of
You
people
bought
that
your
buy
ticket.
tickets every day and that come to games respectable. Just because you bought a ticket, you are special. That you got some special type of privilege to
No,
say
it's not
whatever.
about special, but it's freedom of speech. It's not about
Think
being
that freedom
special.
of speech
It's
outside of
freedom of speech, bro.
there's no freedom of
Now
speech.
if they're now look, if you're on the streets, right, then you handle it how you handle it. Right? Y'all are
But you
not.
wouldn't say that outside the streets. You're in a controlled
All right.
environment.
All right. So I came
Is
as a
there
fan
freedom?
to
All right.
troll you. I came as a fan to troll you.
So if I bought a ticket to a presidential rally to watch the president talk, and I throw to Frank, that's freedom of speech. What do you think happens next?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So what happens next?
I don't know.
You
What
get
does
kicked
happen next?
out.
I don't know.
If I told the president at his rally, suck my dick, what do you think's gonna happen? You're getting kicked out in a
I would
controlled
then but
environment.
okay,
You
but
can't
now is
say
that
whatever
in
you
the
want to
rule?
say.
Is that in the rules of that place now? Now we have to get into once again. If the NBA wants to now put that as a rule, then when you buy the ticket, that has to be you put that in the fine print. It wants no buying this ticket. You are not allowed to say X, Y, and Z. But if there is no rule about it, you cannot tell a person what to say. What are you talking
It's
about?
common sense to where if I say this, I know I'm getting kicked out.
Like, come on, bro. We gotta stop being so emotional, bro.
That's not
Like, you're a
emotional.
grown ass
It's a
man, bro.
level of
Focus
respect.
on the. Why are you focused on the crowd and you're down 30? Like, what
Why is
is wrong with you,
why is
bro?
the fan
Focus
talking
on the
crazy?
game. That's the problem, bro. We're in an era to where everyone is acting so damn emotional and soft, bro. Like, god damn. Like,
Listen, man,
once again, if someone put your hands on you, that's one thing, bro. I understand 100%. But if
I'm
someone's
not a
just
form
talking
of
shit, bro, he
entertainment.
bought a
I'm
ticket,
not.
bro.
Yo,
Come
listen.
on, bro.
This is a real as a man, you wouldn't even. I know if somebody talk crazy to you, you like what?
Oh my God, Seb, we're not. I'm once again, I'm not telling no one what to do. I'm not telling the fan what to do, and I'm not telling the player what to do. Y'all are two grown men. You handle it however you see fit. I'm not telling no one what to do. What I am saying that though, there is no rule saying that a fan cannot say X, Y, and Z. There's no rule of it. So now what?
Right.
There's
There's no
not.
rule, but there definitely is repercussion. So if you want to go freedom of speech, there's definitely repercussions for that.
Okay. Okay. Then I guess there's a repercussion. Once again, I don't know the rules. I don't know what the rules are. Right? You go to the airport, right? And they can't say and they say you can't bring a water bottle past the thing. Why? Because that's a rule, correct?
We don't talk about a water bottle compared
Now I'm
to.
asking you, so we're talking about, I'm just giving you an example of a rule. So people either follow that rule or you're not allowed inside, right or wrong.
No, that's right.
That's the rule. Like what you have to follow. But if there's no rule stating you cannot say this, then what repercussion are we getting here? There's
The,
no rule of it.
the
There's
repercussions
no
that you
rule.
get thrown out because if a player that has more power than a fan feel as if what you said is not appropriate or within the lines, or even if security feels like, yo, all right, he's bugging, we have the right to escort you out.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm not.
Well,
And once again, am I saying security can't do that? Good for security. Yeah. If that's your job to do that, then cool. All I'm saying is that when you buy a ticket, does it say what you can and cannot say?
but when you buy a ticket, now here's your counter.
I've asked you a question.
No, but when you buy a ticket,
Okay.
does it say do whatever you want within the rights of not touching a player?
No, it doesn't say anything. It says your seat is here, and
Because
this is where the address is. It
the
doesn't
point
say
of the game, the
anything.
point of the game is to watch and cheer on your team.
Okay, but now look, when you know you're going on a road game, you're going to be heckled. Now, is there levels of heckling?
Yes,
Yes. But
there's
now,
only
but
heckling
now
is.
it doesn't say anywhere you can't go to a level 5 today. It doesn't say it
It
anywhere.
doesn't say it, but there's repercussions for it.
What the hell? If I'm at a battle rap event, right? And then some nigga in the crowd says, "Yo, surf, suck my dick." Like, there's no
You
rule.
think
He
that's
can't
gonna
say
end
that.
well?
No, now if Surf want to jump off the stage and they get active, they got
That's what
25
I'm
Crips in the
saying.
building,
Every
then that's
every
on that,
action
but
has a
there's no rule
reaction.
about
Yo,
it.
yo, tread lightly, bro. I know if I say LeBron, fuck you, and fuck that, I know I'm bound to get kicked out, especially when
Okay.
I'm close to where he hears it. So
And but now there's been people who haven't been kicked out, right?
maybe they ain't get.
Not every we can't act like every person who's ever said has been kicked out.
No, you
Now
can't
there's
kick
been
everybody out.
instances of it happening for
But
sure.
yeah, but it
But
gets
once
to a
again, there's
point.
no rule.
It gets to a point though. Oh shit, my fault. I just had a little heartburn.
Nigga said I got heartburn. You all right, man?
I'm all right now.
Nah, listen, everyone. This is a friendly debate here. My point is this: every action has a reaction, right? That's just life. Like that's what it is. But all I'm stating is that if we really want to like lock down these rules and if enough players want to change this, then go to all these meetings y'all have, right? All these meetings between the players and say we want to put something to where people buy these tickets. We put this in the fine print. Know that if you say curse words or this, you will be thrown out. But if there's nothing stating that, we can now not expect a fan to just say yay or boo and then that's it. We can't do that.
Type shit, type shit.
That's why, man. Um, ain't gonna lie to y'all, this debate went a lot longer than I expected. Kind of went a little off track, but there was some more I wanted to get into, but we are sort of running out of time. But I guess we can just do this last one real quick. I just want to just bring up ring culture real quick, right? I think it's something that is getting a little out of hand. So I got two questions for you, sir. Is Jalen Brunson better than Russell Westbrook?
All time, it's tough, bro. Winning goes a long way, and Russ is my guy.
Yeah,
Russ is
this
my
is
guy.
the conversation I wanted to have.
And the fact that I'm even contemplating it is, you know what? Let me be easy. I'm gonna say no for right. It's tough for me because I
But
generally fuck.
how is it? Okay, but my thing is this. So
But
now, does a ring automatically just now put you in a different thing when that's a team basically award? winning
But
a
it's the
ring.
Finals MVP team basically award.
Understandable, but you still win the title because of your team. Now, of course, the best player gets the Finals MVP. Not debating that, but a team has to win the championship, right? So Jalen Brunson's a champion, but besides that, doesn't really have too many other accolades to
The
him right
accolades is
now.
what
Right now, Russ, MVP, all the All NBAs, all the All Stars, all the points scored,
yeah,
rebound,
no,
assists,
it's
four
resume.
straight years of triple doubles. You're going to erase all that you was about to because Jalen Brunson won a championship.
I contemplated though. I contemplated though. Because here's the thing: when people say ring culture ruin a lot of ring culture puts you in a different stratosphere as a player, especially if you're the front helm of the player. And that's the thing that fans are not getting though. I know I get the nostalgia, I get just everything Russell Westbrook has done for NBA. Trust me, this is one of my favorite players of all time though. If anybody's going to defend Russ name, going to defend Russ name though. But at the same time though, there's a level of height that there's doors that you're in now that you'll forever be cemented in because you won a title. And that's the importance. Even before, like, and I'm gonna use Bron as an example, because even before he won this first title, bro, people were saying, we know how great you are. You got the MVPs, you got all this NBA. Like, feel me, you're next up, though. But when are you going to win to be in that conversation? Winning means a lot, bro. And I know everybody want to talk about what you did for your career. And when you break it down to perspective, I still gotta have Russell Westbrook overall for his longevity of his career above Jalen Brunson. But that doesn't mean Jalen Brunson's that far off, especially if he can continue at a rate to where he's getting
Russell.
all these all NBAs, to where
Mhm.
all these all-star appearances, to where he could carve out a career. He still has a couple of years to carve out his career, especially if he wins another one. So, but what I'm saying is though, the fact that this is even a conversation goes to show you that how far a ring could put you in a different stratosphere. Like, look at Jokic, all these MVPs, but once he got that ring, now we start talking about it. Is he up?
Yes, but and I get what you're saying, sir. But I think ring culture is starting to ruin history, bro. You
Who
just
else
brought up
besides
you just brought up Jokic, yes, but he has both, bro. He has the accolades and the championship, bro. Because I'm gonna put it like this: we can't put Brunson over Stockton. You can't do that. Like you're erasing everything Stockton did in his career, all because he just didn't win a singular team award. Like that doesn't really make. Are we gonna now put Russ over Allen Iverson?
Russ?
My
Wait,
fault, not Russ. Jalen Brunson. And
he's
I
a
like
Russ.
and I like Jalen Brunson. And I only brought this up because you've seen the post I made, on Instagram, and people started going crazy. And I
Wait,
get it's a
you
little
compare two
it's a
modern day players.
no, no, I understand that. I'm just saying Jalen Brunson, period. And I get it's also recency bias, right? This just happened with Jalen Brunson and then the Knicks winning and all that, right? So now if you want to say a Knicks legend and is he the best Knick and all that, if you want to say Brunson, then that's cool. But when we still talk about NBA history, we can't now not just say Brunson's better than these other people because he has a title. Like,
A title goes a long way, bro.
I
A
think
title
that's
goes.
right, bro. When it's a team award.
But that Finals MVP is that individual that gets to hold that shit up. That listen, that puts you in a different stress. Like, in it's not even me that said it. It's one time to where I think I was watching something with D Wade. He said it's great to have all these awards, but when you're in a solidified room of players that just won a title, like it's different. That's why guys like Shaq always he stresses like you can't talk to me till you have one of these. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why he chose Charles
Yes,
Barkley.
but
He
all
said
those players you just named also have other accolades, bro. Shaq, D Wade, they all have everything else also, bro.
Jalen Brunson ain't too far. He gets a couple more All Stars and All NBAs. Then what can we say?
Except he has one second team All NBA.
Two,
Oh, it's two?
two. He got snubbed the year before that. He has, but he's a
We're not
three.
talking about who is no, we're not doing snubbed and all. It's what do you have? Not where you snubbed, bro.
Let's
So
see,
you're saying
Jalen
he
Brunson.
has two. So what he has a second team and what a third team? Is that what is it?
Two second teams and maybe let me just double check. All right, so his professional accolades. So we got an NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP, NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP, three-time NBA All Star,
I remember
three All
tomorrow.
NBA, three
Right.
All NBA second team. So he's three times All NBA second team, NBA Cup champion, NBA Cup MVP, NBA Cup All Star MVP, NBA Clutch Player of the Year awards. The list goes
So
on.
now, so now these cup things. Now how much value putting on the cup?
So now we're not adding act like LeBron's a Cup champion. That's something
Yeah,
that
but
NBA don't watch.
I don't ever mention that when it comes to Burn. I will
Just
never.
because you
That
don't
doesn't
mention
mean
it
anything.
doesn't mean it's not in history. It goes
I'm not
down in
Seb.
history.
Seb, I asked you how much are we valuing. Not that it doesn't matter. I'm asking you a question.
How much are we valuing it? Not compared to all the other awards he has, but you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's in his bio. When you look at his professional NBA accolades, and we're not gonna just browse past it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Nine different awards. So I can't say he doesn't have nothing. He's still building his resume out as he goes along. But his resume is not gonna say it's not impressive and that his career still has ways to go though. But when we look back at it, and if he's still on the trajectory that he's still going on, we could be talking about Jalen Brunson as an all-time great too. That's not that far-fetched, especially being
Right.
an NBA
But you're
champion.
talking about later on, and I'm talking about the people who's putting him on this pedestal right now.
No, it's too early, and I'll be one of the people who say I'm
Thank
part of
you.
the recency bias, and I'll admit
Thank
to
you.
that though. But for the rate he's going, and from what I see from Jalen Brunson, I do believe that he still has more to carve out in his career though. So at the trajectory I'm going, I could put that in estimation that he'll be better than a lot of these people that I could full on say are greats right now. Because if he gets another one, then that's another conversation to where. Mhm. And this is all hypothetical.
Two chips and two finals MVPs is impressive. I'll never negate that. And once again, I love the game of basketball. I may troll at times, but I don't discredit players. Jalen Brunson is that guy. But I just don't like when we're over like the glaze factory, bro. When people are just getting gallons of glaze, bro. Like gallons. Like we gotta like the fact that you almost really put him over Westbrook is kind of crazy, bro.
Listen, bro. One thing about the NBA is that times are gonna change, people are gonna shift. The list changes for me. I'm just to a point to, especially for a small guard in the narrative that he can't do it, he's too small, and the fact that it's proven down. I don't know. I just think that just watching like championships, like certain people that get a championship, it's like, damn, I really could sit at a table to where years down the line, people are gonna remember this. Like, think about what a championship did for Jalen Brown and
Yes, and I
Tatum.
think, but I agree with you. I do think a little bit with Brunson is because he did it with the Knicks. I think that's really what has put him over. Because when I look at his run, bro, I don't think I don't put this as a top five run. I don't know
All
if I
time,
could put
or
it top all time. Yeah, talking about run by a player in the playoffs. Bro, look at this run by him and look at the Dirk run, bro. Like it's different. You feel what I'm saying? It all ends with a championship and finals MVP. Like the ending is the same. But I'm not just gonna act like he put the entire team on his back, bro. When he had help, bro, and a lot of help.
Dirk got help. Dirk had a well-rounded team.
Go, go ahead, talk your shit.
Dirk had a well-rounded team. Jason Kidd was the helm point of a veteran point guard that definitely knew how to run an offense. Jason Terry was lights out. We forgetting about who else they had? Peja Stojakovic. Who else we forgetting? JJ Barea did his thing. I ain't gonna say it was a full one-man show, but he led the helm, and I'm proud to say Dirk did that. But you gonna need help in the championship run. I wouldn't say a one man carry. No one man carry a whole championship. Like everybody says, it's a team effort though. But the main person we all know that there's a main person for every title run, but it doesn't mean somebody did a carry job by himself. We like to say carry and make it seem as if nobody has help nowadays though. But I really do think that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has help when it comes to the finals run. You can't just do one thing by yourself. It is damn near impossible. But up there with Dirk run, nah. But I say commendable because he's knocked off all his other peers, and then he knocked off the biggest giant of all, David versus Goliath, the one that they proclaimed to be the future of the NBA, and Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, I give credit for knocking off Wemby. First round, he beat Jalen Johnson.
All star,
Said stop. He beat Jalen Johnson.
an all
Was not
star.
Seb.
He's an all star,
Seb.
all
He beat
star.
he beat Jalen Johnson. Then he beat the Sixers with Maxine and Bipu.
And Paul George, three all
And then
stars.
you said
So he
Paul
went against
George. You said
Paul
Paul
George, not an all
George.
star. Listen, the Hall
Boy,
of Fame, the Hall of Fame
boy,
percentage has Paul George at a 79% to make it to the
boy,
Hall of Fame.
boy, it's out the mud, man. We got Rashad McCants. Like, what if you talk?
Oh
Paul
yeah, so
George
he went
said,
against four all stars. Continue.
Seb, stop,
No,
bro.
continue. No. Continue.
You're
Continue.
doing,
Continue.
you're doing the Glaze Factory, so close
Continue.
the door. Seb,
Continue.
no,
I
and
like
then
how we try
and
to. I like how we try to diminish
and
what the Knicks did. They lost by a total of 4 points in the playoffs. Do you know
but
how hard that is?
Seb, he didn't play the top two teams in the East.
Whose fault is that? The top two teams sucked.
No, a fact is a
They,
fact, though.
are they
A
really the
fact,
top two
a
teams?
fa- by paper, yes, they were number one and number two.
Number one and number two. So the number one couldn't get past the Cleveland team that got
Hold on,
swept.
Seb. Why
The
are you
number,
yelling at me, bro? Why are you getting
hold on.
so
Because if you want to
angry?
go back to what Michael Irvin say, if you want to go back to history, don't go back to your history. Let's go back to this history. Let's go back to these history. Because we talk about a team right now, bro, that lost by 4 points in a whole playoff series, bro. You have to win 16 games. They lost 3 by what? A total of 4 or 5 points.
Bro, they played Atlanta, bro.
So is that their fault that they played the 6th seed,
Wait,
that they were the third seed?
Seb, you watched the comp.
No. Because everybody say they played Atlanta. Like Atlanta just didn't go on a run in the second half, bro. Their record for like the second half of the season was like 16-4. Everybody was, bro. And we're talking about all the media. Who said it? Chandler Parsons, Lou Williams. Oh yeah, I think the Atlanta Hawks could definitely beat them. Everybody was saying that. When the Atlanta Hawks went up 2-1, everybody was saying, "Yeah, we gotta fire Mike Brown. We gotta trade Mikal Bridges." I was a part of it, and then they woke up after losing both games by a combined total of 2 points. They lost one game. They lost what? Game 2 by 1. They lost game 3 by 1. They came back and they did not look back, and then they went on to Philly. Justin, you had Philly winning this series in 7. After they just knocked off the Boston Celtics that just got a Jason Tatum to return, that was a 2nd seed. And now everybody's going to just be like, oh, they played this. They played who was in front of them. Detroit Pistons. There was a team that just went 2-7 games. They went 2-7 games. They was down 3-1 to the Magic, who had no business. A playing team like the Orlando Magic had no business taking the Detroit Pistons, who just won 60 games to a 7-game series. They had no business doing that. Then they go game 7 with Cleveland and they get spanked on their home floor. And you're telling me that team and then the Boston Celtics were supposed to do what the Knicks was supposed to do. They were supposed to go against the Knicks that was red hot. Everybody would have had the same fate against the New York Knicks on just how well their offense was running. They had a cohesive offense, man. Cat at the hub, Jalen Brunson moving without the ball. Everybody was doing their thing. Oh, you just missed it. I don't know if you could have heard me, but I was just going on a rant.
My connection cut off, but I see you was blacking.
So you want me to rephrase everything I say? You want me to?
I mean, bro, they played Atlanta, bro. Like, you gotta calm down.
All right.
Bro.
First of all, when you play a team,
then they played the. No, go ahead.
You play who you're supposed to play in the playoffs. If they played in Atlanta, cool. But I remember vividly speaking of lunch and platform saying Atlanta could beat them. Atlanta could beat them. Chandler Parsons, dumbass, and Lou. I got too much respect for Lou to call him a dumbass. They had Atlanta winning. Then we go on to the next round. You had Philly winning. You had Philly winning in 7. Talk about they
Exactly.
just knocked off the Boston Celtics. That's the toughest thing you could do. Mind you, the Knicks has beaten majority of the only 2 teams they haven't beaten in their playoff runs is the Miami Heat, and that was the first year of the Jalen Brunson experiment. And the Indiana Pacers just somehow keeps getting the better of them. Other than that, though, the Knicks have dominated majority of the teams in the East. It
Well,
don't
yeah,
matter
because Indiana's better than them, bro. Indiana's clearly better than them, bro.
until they win a championship. Are they really better than them?
No, but that's what we know. Health matters, bro. And their best player got hurt.
Until proven otherwise, we just gonna have to wait and
Seb,
see them.
you came on this platform and said that the healthiest team was, but you said it yourself. Don't change the narrative now.
Until I prove otherwise, the New York Knicks are better than the Pacers.
No,
But
because the
that doesn't
last you're
negate
only as
my
good as your
point.
last fight.
But that doesn't negate my point to where, like I was saying, because you're about to make me go off track. You almost had me there for a second. We can't negate
But
what the
bro,
Knicks
let's
does.
be real.
Oh,
Let's be real, bro. Jalen Brunson is the most overrated player in NBA history.
overrated. I know a bunch of niggas that are way overrated than Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, if anything, he's still underappreciated. He's still the underdog in the fight. Because guess what?
No,
If the nigga
no,
was 6'5",
overrated, bro. Overrated.
he'd be an MVP contention. But the fact that this nigga goes from 26 a game to averaging 30 points a game in the playoffs when shit matters, now he's overrated. Name one person that can check
Did he?
Jalen Brunson.
Did OG Ananobi not save him, bro?
Oh, yeah, great tipping. But who had 30?
Yeah. Yeah, so he
Who had
saved
30
him.
that game? Who
He
closed
he
out with
saved
45? The last time somebody closed
he
out
saved
a
his career.
finals, the last time somebody closed out a finals with 45 points on the road was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Closed out on the road, 45 points, tied for most points in a closeout game. Listen, man, there's levels to this shit, man. This is a nigga that averages 30 for the playoffs. You can't, like, you can't tweak with somebody that's a playoff riser. You can't tweak with that. And
No,
he
but
was
did they
better than a
not?
lot
Did
of
they
listen,
not? Did they not have to play through Cat and change the offense to even get out the first round?
did that stop his 30 though? Because
No,
if
I'm
I could look
asking.
back at the
I'm just
stats,
asking a question.
you could change the offense, but did the production change?
No, no, but you didn't answer my question.
Yeah, they put Cat at the hub, and that
Okay,
helped the
but
offense
then
got
so then
30.
so
Did
is
that
what you're
change his
saying
30 a game?
so is what you're saying is that playing through Brunson wasn't working in the first round.
It didn't. What do you mean it didn't work? They
No, it
still
wasn't working. They were down 2-1.
they were down 2-1 by a total of 2 points. Cat came to the top of the team, and that spread the offense out more. As a coach, that's a coach's job to change the offense, though. But did it change Jalen Brunson's production? Did it change his production, or he still averaged 30? I could understand if the offense changed and now Jalen Brunson's averaging less. The nigga averaged 30 still.
So Carl Anthony Towns carried him to the finals.
You can't carry somebody to average 30. You can't. You can't.
Nah, I'm not. I'm trolling you. I'm trying to see how angry I could get you. Jalen Brunson is definitely no, listen, man. This whole real conversation was about this ring culture. I don't really want to make this about Jalen Brunson, but I just feel like winning a championship is important to a team. But I don't think we should. I don't think we should just leapfrog players over other players because of a title, especially if they don't have nothing close to all the other accolades. So I think we gotta slow down a little bit.
Shoot. Hey, man. You know how I feel about titles already. So that's something to debate to not debate, but that's the whole point of this show. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna ask, yeah, is ring culture important, or is it becoming an oversaturated thing now to where we're discrediting players that didn't win a ring in their tenure within the NBA? Y'all let us know down below. But is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, there was one more topic we wanted to do, but we'll probably save it for another time. Um, we're just gonna end the episode. I'm in a bad connection area. Want to thank everybody for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the video. Make sure to follow us on all streaming platforms. Well, no, all platforms at It's Debatable Double underscore. Follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook for details and developments on the platform. Um, Jersey.
And that's a wrap.